Good afternoon and welcome to Cape Town, to Claremont Cricket Club. It is the Over-55 International Cricket Tournament T20 format in the first 2 days. And our featured match this afternoon, South African afternoon of course, is the USA against Australia. Australia starting off with a victory against Zimbabwe by a narrow margin of 2 wickets, and USA going down to Wales. Impressive Wales outfit. They've made it back-to-back wins, taking care of Zimbabwe earlier today, and we hope that you enjoy our coverage from all over the world. Early afternoon in South Africa, so good evening to you, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you might be, and a special word of welcome to our viewers from the USA and from Australia. Australia winning the toss and deciding to bowl first.
Thank you.
They're using the same pitch that we used during the Wales-Zimbabwe match, and Wales set a target of 148 and Zimbabwe falling short by 15 runs. So earlier this morning I spoke about a pass score being around 140, end of season pitch in South Africa, and here we go. Starting off with spin, and too short, whipped around the corner, ground to be made, 4 to start off for the USA. Brilliant start. Afekazi getting off the mark with a boundary. Kazi and Alam opening proceedings for USA, and Craig Gingham with the ball for Australia. So change of approach. We saw seam in the earlier match from both teams. Spin being introduced off the bat from the Aussies. Not quite ready is Kazi. Power play, first 6 overs, so that means field restrictions in play, 2 allowed out of the inner circle. Goes on the cut, expansive cut, but the bottom half of the bat down to short third will result in a single. So quick start by Kazi. Brings Alam on strike. It's going to be an eventful match. Aggressive cricket, aggressive brand of cricket by both of these teams. Should be a blockbuster. To close off the T20 part of this competition, we switch over to 45 overs after a rest day. Slightly short, but there is protection on the offside boundary. Umpires this afternoon, Jeff Charlesworth from Australia and Alvin Pillay from South Africa. Alvin Pillay, the standing umpire where the bowler's running from. Beats him outside the off stump. Lovely delivery by Gingham. So important this first 6 over spell. Just set the foundation, and that can really just determine the outcome of your journey. Where are you heading towards? Just saw how Zimbabwe fell away, 87 for 1 become 87 for 4, and the complexity changed very quickly. Can't run there. A short dab onto the offside. Very alert Australian, good fielding in the inner circle. Having conceded a boundary off the first delivery of the match, Gingham has pulled it back very nicely. Slightly straight and beats the man at despairing dive towards his right, and it escapes him, and this should be a couple. They'll think 3 and they should get another single. So a productive first over for the USA. 9 off it. Kazi 8, Alam on 1. Immediately a bit of a discussion as Mitchell Woods enters the attack. He's nicknamed Woodsy. Keeper is James Johnson. James Johnson, same name and surname as a very familiar country artist in Australia that visited South Africa for the first time last year. Ghazi just leaning back, trying to cut that away through the offside. No protection on the offside boundary. Boundary fielders mid-wicket is covered. Oh, that's the aerial route. Lovely shot. It was full. It was there for the taking, and he took the bait, but it will be cut off before the boundary rope. 2 more runs. The Ghazi looks very busy. He's come out with some intent. Too short. He's going to pick the gap, and that should run away with the spin towards the left. It's another boundary. Ghazi has raced away. 14 of 8. Just hear the encouragement on our right. Go Rav. So that's obviously the abbreviation for his full name. Australia will need to be mindful of Ghazi's approach. He's not going to die wondering. He's coming out. He's going to take the fight to the opening pair. So Mitchell Woods, how can he respond? Slightly fuller. It's a lovely drive, straight drive for 4. He's got the full array. Rafi Ghazi has already shown that you can't bowl short to him. That time, the front foot, maker's name of the bat, and that went all the way on the grass. Textbook cover drive for 4. Off drive. So 19 early alarm bells for Australia's bowling attack. They're under a bit of pressure. Oh, again, this time it's up in the air. It's mistimed and will escape the fielder. Half chance. They do come along in this format. Ghazi survives. He's on to 19. Responsible for 19 of the 20 runs that USA has put together inside 11 deliveries. Johnson goes up to the stumps and then falls back. It's just a subtle move to get the fielder aligned. Again, gave that the full kitchen sink. Can't beat the fielder. Brings to an end a very productive over for USA. 11 off it. It's 20 without the loss, going at 10 to the over.
Eddie. Do you want to get them to do the scoreboard? Put that inside. Yes. So they need to upload 20. Oh, they're doing it. They're doing it. Can you grab some drink?
Oh, can you come and ask you, right?
An orange one. An orange one,
Sure.
please.
Boy, slowly.
Gingham continues. So having leaked 20 runs in the first 2 overs, Australia will be asking, how do they pull this back? How do they contain 2 very aggressive batters for USA? Mid-wicket is protected on the boundary, looking leg side. Offside, if you do beat the inner ring, there is a cover fielder in place. That's better length, good length from Gingham. Just pulling it back, not too full. If you are going to go full, you run the risk here with Kazi. He's going to give it everything, and he's probably going to have the power to go over the top. So Gingham will have to be mindful. He can't be too full against Kazi. Drops it on a length, push and run. It's good just being mindful of the scoreboard, taking it over. You had 2 dot balls, get the single, get yourself on the other end. Better over this from Craig Gingham, asking the right questions. Cut away, beats the gap, finds the gap, that's racing along the carpet once again, and will have enough wheels to reach the boundary. That's Alam's first 4. Right start this for USA. Goes across the line, he fetches that, tries to fetch it from a sort of a 5th stump line and drag it across towards the leg side. The only winning option there would be the vacant long on area, because there is mid wicket is covered. And he felt that the gap was there. This time it's fuller. You're going to be punished if you go full. There's no protection there. There's only one result, and that's going to be a 4 to Alam. Gingham has conceded 9 of his second over. 2 overs for 18. He's returned 29 without the loss of a wicket. Just short of 10 to the over. USA. Very bright start. Just what they would have wanted. Question time for Australia. Think tank is there. Keeper always involved in that process. What do we need to do? What lines and lengths do we need to these two? One question we can already answer. If it's full, it's going. If it's short, more than accustomed to rock back and hit away towards the boundary as well. So you've got to be just short of a length. These pitches are very favourable. Remember, end of season in South Africa, they've been used since August. It's now mid-March. So you're not going to really get bounce. Uncomfortable bounce, let me rather rephrase that. It's not going to be shoulder height and uncomfortable. So you can afford to trust your process, trust your front foot, hit through the line. Keepers up, wide called, extra conceded as Richard Anderson is into the attack for Australia. Again, slightly short, up-ish, one bounce, just short of the fielder. That's a potential area that you can attack. If you're too short, there's a big risk, and too full, well, they've now pushed long off back to the boundary. Mid-on is up in the circle. Slightly slower, helped around the corner, one bounce into the hands of the short fine leg. Very good fielding. Would have felt that Kazi would have felt that he missed out there. He just lapped it around the corner. Any side of that field would have been productive for him in the scoring department. I like keeper up. Johnson up to the stumps is a good thing. Just keep the player honest. Again! Oh, has that been taken? That's a blinder. That's an absolute blinder. And the breakthrough comes. Kazi is on his way. Bright and breezy 20. Anderson's introduction has yielded immediate success for Australia. That was a good catch. Diving forward, that's never easy. It's always the risk against reward. Do I lose teeth or do I get my hands on the ball? Hands on the ball was the good option. Very smart work for Australia. So having conceded 30 runs, Anderson has has put a firm block in that run scoring department, and he's picked up a wicket. So that's really good for Richard Anderson and for Australia. Hiya Sheikh, the new batter to the crease. Such an important moment. You drop that and your head falls and you think, oh well, there's another half chance that could have been. And there's played a couple for Australia in the last while. That one went, I'm not going to say to hand, because there was a lot of work that needed to be done by the fielder, but it was really excellent work. Remember, this is over 55s. You can sit at home and say, oh, regulation catch. This is 55 plus. Throw your body forward at 55, you're doing a good job. Had a player earlier at 71. Well, the approach won't change. Cut shot. Splits the two fielders for Sheikh off the mark immediately with the boundary. Well, Anderson won't mind that. It's an aggressive shot to get started. Different day, different outcome. Little faint edge to the keeper. So his line must be off stump. That's where the field is loaded on the offside. Oh, it's a ripper. Excellent delivery by Anderson. So there won't be massive movement, even with a new ball. It's late or early afternoon in South Africa. Oh, it's another one! He's grabbed it. It's 2 in 2. 2 in the over. Oh, he's standing his ground, Sheikh, and he's looking towards the square leg umpire. Now the two umpires will confirm. For me, that looked like a clean catch. Into the hands. I don't think there's any doubt there. Could expect a raised finger. I agree with the two umpires. That was a fair catch. That was straight into the hands. No doubt about that. Sheikh's brief stay comes to an end. So it's a double blow to the USA. Richard Anderson strikes twice. Brilliant change by the captain. 2 for 5. And that's how quickly it can change. Sheikh came in. First ball went to the boundary. Second ball straight to the fielder. Sanjeeva Weerasinghe walks in. 6 balls ago he was sitting comfortably, probably only put his pads on, didn't even think about his innings, and suddenly you walk out 34 for 2. Moment of genius by Australia to bring Anderson in, and he delivered. Queensland community will be loving it. So they're chopping and changing the bowling lineup. Nothing wrong with that. We see that in T20 cricket. Stuart Crisp. And Stuart will probably look up and say, thanks, Mr. Anderson. This gives me a bit of freedom to settle in. 34 for 2, you need to maybe just reevaluate your approach and say, well, don't need to lose another one now. Power play still on, so field restrictions in play, 2 overs to go. 34 for 2, maybe just the time to reassess. Keeper Johnson is 5 paces back and then takes 2 up. Starts with a wide-ish delivery. Faisal Aslam has seen 2 of his partners come and go. He's also looked aggressive. So what does he do and say, okay, we need to just protect that wickets column slightly. Long time to go. Dab towards short third, quick single. Alam into double figures. Weerasinghe will face up his first delivery. From an Australian perspective, new batter. Try and plug the hole. Say, okay, we don't want him to get off strike easily. Let's just be a bit tighter on the one. Taking guard what looks to be centre. It will be centre, middle stump. Oh, goes full-blooded first up. They have kept that man at long on. First delivery. Oh, the modern day cricketers, although 55 plus, they won't change the game plan. Again offered to drive, and he says, thank you very much, I'll take that gift and help myself to another 4. Alam on to 14. But if he is going to pitch full, I would be inclined to say, yes, they've got that the opportunity to drag from outside off stump towards the leg side does exist. But I would take out, at this stage, my cow corner, deep mid-wicket cow corner position. I would bring him into the circle and pull back my mid-off and then pitch it up. Invite the two batters and say, okay, well, you've shown that you're more than willing to go that route. That's full again. This one has worked onto the leg side, just dug out. If you aren't going to bowl short, then I don't see the need for that fielder. Again, drives intended to go onto the offside, but timing not quite there, so it ends on the leg side towards long on. And it is a single. Brings to an end the Stuart Crisp first over that went for 7. 41 for 2 as we approach the last over of the power play. Arun Tolliver is on my left. He's going to join commentary representing USA. We'll have a brief discussion with Arun as well and get his thoughts on proceedings as we stand. Richard Anderson, no surprise that he gets a second over. Arun, welcome to you. It's great to have visitors from all abroad, but to you and the rest of your teammates, a special word of welcome. Second day of competitive action. How have you found South Africa? I'll let you answer after the delivery aboard his action. So officially welcome.
Thank you very much. It's been wonderful. We got in here on Friday and Saturday, settled in, played a warm-up game against Zimbabwe on Sunday, and then of course we've been playing the 2 T20 matches. It's been wonderful. It's been wonderful to be here in Cape Town. It's my first time here, but some of my colleagues have come here twice, thrice now, and just looking at this picturesque setting, the Table Mountain in every single ground, you know, there's a view of that. It's just an amazing and beautiful place, and we're just thrilled to be out here playing cricket, and of course 55 plus, so that's even better.
I like Anderson's tactics here. He'll offer it up fourth, fifth stump line, and then he's asking you to drag it across. Arun, it's always nice to talk to first-time visitors because I think we get spoiled. We get accustomed to the mountains and the facilities, but it's always nice to get the impressions of first-time visitors. I'm glad you highlighted the mountain. That's what we're accustomed for. It will be a very sad day if you don't see that one. You talk about the Wales game, and that was a narrow game. Wales have shown some good form today, taking care of Zimbabwe, and you talk about the fact that you warmed up against Zimbabwe. So what have you made of the standard of competition?
It's incredible, actually. You know, I was in the World Cup for the 50 plus in Sri Lanka, toured England later that year, and now here at the 55 plus team, the standard in Masters cricket, whether it's 40s, 50s, 60s, and now the 70s World Cup just recently happened as well. So it's something to be proud of, and the game that we grew up loving and playing, we continue to do that. And there's Sanjeeva is a very, very busy player. He's played a high class of cricket back in Sri Lanka, and you'll see him do this a lot. Very, very crafty batsman who's able to rotate the strike, keep the scoreboard ticking, as well as hit the boundaries when the ball's pitched up or it's a bad ball on offer.
So give me a bit of a background on the team as such. Is it out of a specific region, or is it from across the US?
Well, as you know, the USA is a huge country. It could be a continent in its own right.
Nervous moments.
And cricket is a nascent and growing sport in America, even though one of the first test matches was played between USA and Canada back in the 1800s. So it's a sport that has fallen out of favor. Baseball, American football, and hockey, and there's just other basketball, of course, the NBA are the big ones right now. Soccer has taken hold as well in about 25 years since it's getting back in. And so we hope cricket gets up there as well. And in terms of the composition of the team and where folks are from all over the country, frankly. We have a few players from Texas, Houston and Dallas. We have some from the Northeast, from Boston, New York. We have some folks from the DC area. Personally, I'm from Southern California, as is Sanjeeva. And so we play on a lot of different types of pitches. And our facilities are slowly but surely improving, but that is one area we're definitely disadvantaged, and it kind of shows a little bit. But many of us have played cricket growing up, and we're hoping to introduce the same passion for the rest of America. And I think T20, the MLC that's come in there, has really started to attract some attention, and I hope that cricket will gain a strong foothold and become one of the major sports in the United States in the future.
44 for 2, power play done and dusted. Stuart Crisp gets a second over. So Arun, growing up, everyone starts off with a journey, and you pick up a bat and a ball, and then you see certain players on television or social media nowadays. Who was your idol growing up? Who did you aspire to be?
Wow, I mean, there's just so many players you can think of, but I think as a person who grew up in India, now a United States citizen, for me the pivotal moment was the 1983 World Cup, and Kapil Dev, I think, was a huge hero, single-handedly, I think, with that one innings against Zimbabwe, scored 175 and brought the fortunes back in India's favor. And then as an underdog beating West Indies in the finals, I think that just sparked cricket to a different level in India. And so I would say he was probably one of my biggest heroes. Again, he's an opening bowler. I'm an opening bowler as well, so it's easy to see the connection there. But a fantastic, lion-hearted player who believed in himself, and then the sport has taken off since then.
So I want to build on your story. The first Test match I ever watched was 1992. India toured South Africa, and it was in now Gqeberha, then Port Elizabeth, St George's Park, and I stood as a youngster. I was at school, and I stood outside the transfer area from the change room to the bus, and I had an autograph book, and Kapil Dev, Muhammad Azharuddin, Sachin Tendulkar, they all signed my book, my autograph book, and I still have it today. It's still part of my possessions. And that was my first Test match experience. So I can resonate with what you're saying. That's a lovely shot over the top. Well bounce twice and cross the boundary rope. That's a 4 as USA are just getting rid of this little twitch where they lost 2 wickets in succession. Alam on to 22. So I can absolutely resonate with the era that you are referring to and talking about. And it's been wonderful to see the game change in the way it has. And nowadays the youngsters coming in and the freedom that they play with.
Yeah, and the T20 professional leagues across the world, the Big Bash, the IPL, and here in South Africa as well. There's just so many leagues that are providing opportunities, I think, for kids and talent that otherwise wouldn't get access to be able to play the game. So that's just, to me, as much as and that's another great shot by Sanjeeva. He doesn't need much invitation to put away a dolly like that. These pitches, the margin for error is really, really small, right? I mean, you just have to get it on that right length. Something pitched up, it's deposited, and you said it's the end of the season out here, so I think the pitches are definitely showing it. But still, it's the facilities are still amazing, and the pitches are still pretty good. I'll tell you, where I play in Los Angeles, if it's the end of the season, it's almost like a dust bowl. It's so hard to maintain these wickets. We don't have too many of these in the United States.
Yeah, so I want to build on that and ask you, again, we are very spoiled. You have an out-and-out cricket field. You don't share it with another sport. Oh, that's big again. Well, he's taken a liking. What fielding! That's brilliant fielding. Taken a liking to Stuart Chris, but he's playing the same shot, helping it around the corner. That is magnificent fielding. You talk about the conditions and the maintenance that goes into it. Do you have to share your cricket facilities with other sporting codes?
In a lot of places, yes. Most of the cricket in the United States is played on AstroTurf, concrete pitches with a little layer of carpet on top of it, mainly because it's zero maintenance. Also, it's in community parks, and the grass is not allowed to be cut, so it's about 1.5 inches thick. So you don't get to play proper cricket with ground strokes and things like that. So that is one of the biggest impediments, I would say, for good quality cricket to take hold in America. There are some places, and actually now we have facilities in Houston where there's a complex with 6 grounds. There's a complex in Atlanta. There's a complex in Albany. Here in Los Angeles, where I'm from, we have a complex with 4 cricket grounds and multiple turf pitches. So turf pitches are coming in, but they have to be dedicated by nature. It's so hard to share a turf pitch, a cricket pitch with another sport.
What does it mean to you personally to play for your country?
It's a dream come true. Growing up, obviously, I played a lot of cricket. And then work and home life, took precedence, obviously, as getting a degree and work. But I've always played cricket. In the 35 years that I've been in the U.S., I've played cricket in Colorado, in North Carolina, back in Colorado, and now in California. So cricket's always been there. Every year I play at least 30, 40 matches. And with the advent of Masters cricket, it's been really, we call it the second inning, right? For us, it's really, truly the second inning. And now I have the opportunity to actually play probably even higher level of cricket than I did in my 30s and 40s, and compete against some professionals who've actually played first-class cricket, played some top-quality cricket. And it's a dream come true. And then to represent your nation, that's just, I don't think this could have been planned at all. A lot of it is just play the game and being at the right place at the right time.
I'll end off my discussion with you and say, from a global perspective, exciting times ahead. Football World Cup, you mentioned football earlier, and the world awaits the FIFA World Cup that's co-hosted by the USA.
Indeed, that's going to be an exciting adventure. The World Cup in the US, they call it soccer, but yeah, football for most of the world. That's going to be a lot of fun. And by the way, the LA Olympics is also around the corner. So 2 really big sporting events in America. Cricket is going to be part of LA Olympics as well. So that should be a lot of fun. But yes, a lot happening. But the world is also in an interesting place. And so I'm hoping sports like the World Cup and the Olympics will bring us all back together again.
Yeah, sport has that power to unite people. That's a brilliant shot again, over the top from Alam. He's helped himself to another 4. Last one, you said you're a bowler, so I want to end off to say, you walk out now in your prime. I'm not going to say over 55. In your prime, you can bowl to any batter in the world, past or present. Who would you want to bowl to challenge yourself against that person?
You always ask these tough questions. Now you're going to make me choose somebody, but I would say, I would say probably Sachin. I think probably I would have said Don Bradman, but that means I'd be like 120 now. But now, if I could go back in time, Sachin Tendulkar would probably be the one, and maybe Virat Kohli is a number 2, because just the adaptability of Virat and his mental toughness and what he brought to the table. But I think Sachin probably beats him over there.
Yeah, most test runs, so I can understand why. Thank you so much for sharing some information about US cricket and also about yourself. And yeah, you mentioned Sir Don Bradman, 99 test average, never to be repeated. I don't think we'll see that in our lifetime. But have a great rest of your week in South Africa. It's really fantastic to have you guys here. Thank you for giving us entertainment in over-55s cricket, and take back the stories, and hope to see you back soon and see you through the course of the week. But Arun, thank you very much.
Thank you. I really appreciated this conversation, and let's see if we can pull off something today. Our performance yesterday left a lot to be desired. I think we didn't quite fulfill our potential. I hope we'll start that today, and then we have 4 45-over games coming up, and so really looking forward to it. And the hospitality and Cape Town has been fantastic so far, and looking forward to all of that again. Thanks.
Great thoughts. Thank you so much, Arun. I appreciate it. In the meantime, John Short is bowling his first over. 61 for 2. Faisal Alam on 23. Wera Singer on 13. Australia quickly struck went in quick succession, but now a bit of a dry patch in that wickets department. So containment is key. That's a nice area from Short, but they have to scamper through for another one. Lovely to catch up with some of our international visitors and some of the players, get their thoughts, what it's like to be here and play, and also the sacrifices that they've made to play this game of cricket. We'll get some Aussie thoughts for you as well. One of South Africa's biggest competitors on the cricket field, and I'm sure many would say that. You measure yourself against the likes of Australia in the cricket world, they always bring something different. Wide called by the umpire. I understand what John Short is doing. He's forced into an offside line. You won't see it at home, but in the inner circle there's 3 on the offside, a short third, and then a straight long off, well, slightly wider. You could be a bit straighter if need be, and then a cover fielder as well. So very loaded offside field, and that's why you'll see Alam target the leg side. There is one fielder protecting the fence, but it's one against an offside loaded field. So you can understand why he's saying that if it's sort of fourth stump line and the length is there, I'm going to try and drag it across. 64 for 2 it is after 8 overs. Drinks normally taken then at 10 overs, so that's 2 overs away. Clint Kebble is going to be introduced into the attack for Australia. You mentioned this famous rivalry with many teams, the Ashes, England and Australia. You talk that 438 game back in the day, the Ricky Ponting era, Adam Gilchrist, the way that Graeme Smith and his Chargers chased that down in Johannesburg. Memorable cricket moment, the Test final, World Test Championship final between Australia and South Africa at Lord's. That's recent memory. But USA and Australia, lovely to have the over-55s with us. Also want to say thank you to Andrew, who's sitting on my right. He's the official scorer for Australia. Gave me the nicest gift, Australia badge that I can proudly wear on my blazer. Little pin, Australia Masters Cricket. So thank you so much, Andrew. This protection there, straight drive for 1. It's going to be interesting to see what the USA would have learned. They arrived early, as Australia did. Australia were here first out of the 2 teams that's on show. And they would have watched a lot from that Wales-Zimbabwe game. 147, that was what Wales posted, and it proved enough. There's a big appeal for an edge. Mr. Pillay says no. He didn't hear it. Clint Kebble and especially the keeper, Mr. Johnson, both convinced. They went up in unison, in tandem. They went up and they said, yes, this has to be. But the decision that matters is Mr. Pillay, and he's unmoved. So Alam still on 23. Clint Kebble, he's on the money. That one is just dabbed onto the offside. Will get a single for his efforts. I'm watching Mr. Johnson and a keeper. They talk a lot, but the reaction after the event, when they have the teapot going, it's normally just a little signal to say, I'm still thinking about what I thought was an edge. Missed that one. Wide plus the extra extra run that they took after the thumble from Johnson. That's 2 wides then to the tally. Clint Gable needs to be a bit tight on off stump. Again, it beats everything. Was there a bit of bat there? Yes, says the umpire. And batter ran past, gave Gable a nudge and said, well done, let's acknowledge a good ball. Whereas Singer goes up, won't have enough legs to reach the fielder. USA 70 for 2, 1 ball shy of 9 overs. So they'll reassess it at 10. So okay, well normally you double plus. So at 70, that's the 140 in the bank. Whipped around the corner straight to the fielder. And then they go for the quick single as well. Good running by the non-striker, especially because he went to the danger end. 71 for 2 brings to a close 9 overs. Clint Kebble's first one costing 7. Alam on 26, whereas Singer on 16. Discussion between Kebble and Johnson. So this is where we think we can get a wicket. How do we need to go about putting a bit of extra pressure on the two at the crease? John Short will get a second over, conceded 8 in his first. Just going back to the point of the 10 overs. And so normally, if you have wickets in hand, you'll say that I can double what I have at 10. So 71 at this stage is 142. So as it stands, USA will probably say, if all goes according to plan and the wickets column is still intact, 150, 160 is very much on the cards here. Australia will say, no thank you. We don't want to be chasing anything more than 145, 150 maybe. Different thought processes. So that's just high enough to escape the fielder, but will be converted into a 2. And that's the valuable information as well. It's not all about the boundaries. You need to be mindful of the 1s and 2s. Very important in that analysis. Partnership has moved quickly to 39 with Alam on 28. Short mid-wicket in play. And almost worked for John Short. So he changes the length and then jumps off a line, but wide called. Australia not as disciplined as what they would like to be. They've conceded a couple of extras too many by their own accord. Normally a very disciplined outfit, but you're also forced into a situation where the batters are attacking you. Slower, but still too wide. This also illustrates that Short is facing a bit of pressure. He doesn't want to be too straight, and because he feels he's going to be pulled across towards what now is a vacant square leg area. So he has to be on that 4th stump line. Oh, that's what you want to see. As if you short, that's exactly the outcome. Go across the line, maybe drag it on or a top edge. But Alam sees the gap, he wants the gap and he wants the result. So Johnson says, Skip, maybe we need to strengthen, we need to put someone there towards square leg. And I tend to agree. You've got this heavily packed offside field, but it's not going to be worth anything if he pulls off the shot. So Short has to be, well, excuse the pun, but just short of a length. Ah, there we go. That's lovely. I like that from John Short. So for now, the leadership team says, no, nothing needed. We don't need to change anything. Let Alam pull off the shot. If he pulls it off, well done to him. But there's going to be risk involved. Slight move. One bounce. Didn't get all of it. Very evident that anything that's there, they're dragging it towards the leg side. Alam and Weerasinghe. For me, now here, for Weerasinghe, I would be more inclined to have, even if it's not on the boundary, but I would have a square leg. He's very wristy. Slight hesitation, but no damage done. Trusting the process. Credit to the Australian think tank. That this is where they believe they can contain and get a wicket. Time for another discussion. So, okay, we need to finish strong. You've conceded 7 to the over. If you can get a dot for us here, this is another good result. This will take us to drinks and the halfway stage. 77 times 2, that's 154. I'm sure Australia will say no. No, we don't want that. We don't want to be chasing more than 150. Oh, that's lovely. That's excellent from John Short. He'll take the single. I credit to the bowler. He won that mini battle. And that brings to an end an eventful 10-over spell. Quick start by the USA. 77 for 2. Alam on 29. Weerasinghe on 17. Strategy time for both of these teams. We'll come back when we have some cricket for you. It's going to be a very interesting second half of this innings.
difficult, but I mean, that game is still scheduled for this week, Saturday.
Boys, I'm just going to lose.
Welcome back to Claremont Cricket Club in Cape Town.
But I mean, still, yeah.
Halfway stage of the first innings of this match. It's USA taking on Australia. And if you have just joined us, welcome wherever you are across the globe. And a special word of welcome to our fans in the USA and in Australia. It's the Over-55s International Cricket Tournament. It's day 2. T20 is our format. And then we have a well-deserved rest day. And then we switch over to 45 overs per side. USA in a position of strength, 77 for 2 at 10 overs, so halfway. Partnership of 43 between Alam and Weerasinghe. And strategies have been discussed between the teams. And USA surely will say that nothing less than 150 will do, especially from this position. But Clint Cable and company have done well. They've contained the run rate after a very eventful start from the openers. Cable runs away from us, concedes a single. I think 2, they will convert into 2. It is a long boundary on the offside. You won't get full value where you are at home, but it is a big hit towards the offside as you watch the screen. Is it about 80 meters? So there's definitely 2s to be had. If you put it in the gap and you run well, run that first one quickly. Try and convert a 1 into a 2. Alam goes big, goes aerial. Couple of bounces will beat the fielder for Fazal Alam. Has looked very threatening on the front foot. If it's pitched up, he loves it there. And you can't really drop short because there is nothing on the square leg boundary. So you've got to stick to a foolish length. That's one that he misses out on. Then illustrates and says that Clint Cable, well done to you. There was a bit of a cutter that sat up. That's too full from Cable, and then half stops it.
How's your over?
2, 4, dot, 1.
I've got a really long bit. Can I just check my previous?
Oh, there's an edge of victory to Clint Cable, but he's not going to win the battle there because there was no slip in play. It won't get to the boundary, but that's excellent bowling from Clint Cable. Gave the delivery to drive, where Weerasinghe said, I'll have all of it. Edge found. Not the keeper's catch. Small victory for Clint Cable.
Thank you.
That's too full. And that's going to be helped around the corner where there's no one in attendance. That's a freebie to Weerasinghe, a freebie to the USA, and not the way Clint Cable would have wanted to finish his over. It's another productive one for USA. 13 off it. Score has moved rapidly on to 90 for 2. That's the first over after the drinks break. Partnership has also moved past 50, 56 to be exact. Weerasinghe has been very busy, 23 of 12. A very impressive strike rate. Alam as well, 36 of 35, just over 100. John Short will bowl his third. So in this format, if you're new to it, bowlers allowed 4 overs maximum. 90 for 2. What a position for USA to find themselves in 9 overs remaining. This could be a very imposing score. Australia need wickets and they need them quickly. Under the pump at the moment.
I've got Faisal on 37 from 34.
Yeah,
23 of 12.
and 13.
13. Okay. Yes, 91.
John Short. Can he break this partnership? Slightly short, helped around the corner where there's no one there. Again, just missing his mark. It's another 4. They're leaking runs after the resumption, Australia.
But I've been telling them for the past 2 weeks. Milo's created the thing now this morning, 5 minutes. She was still sending me.
How do they respond? Where do they plug the gaps? And especially the boundary options. There's too many at the moment for USA.
For that end is
That offside field still very loaded from Australia.
she was still there.
And if you drop slightly short, the pitch will sit up. It is a slowish pitch. And if your length is not there, there's enough real estate on the leg side to help yourself to plenty. That's better from John Short. Value of a good single, appreciated by the dugout. They know that, yes, the fours are important, but the follow-ups, the ones and the twos, they matter. Alam on to 42. What an innings it's been from him so far. Weerasinghe has played more than a supportive role. He's been in the aggressor. So a switch in field positions. Still, they prefer the offside. That's where you'll find the majority of the Aussie fielders. Full aerial, a couple of bounces, and we'll beat the field again for 4. Weerasinghe in overdrive. 77 for 2 at drinks. That was at 10. 9 balls later, the 100 comes up. Australia very quiet in the field, under pressure. John Short at the top of his mark. What can he do? Slower. Goes aerial again. Bounces once. Good fielding, running around at the boundary. Will prevent the 4. So Short going at 10. 2 deliveries shy of completing his third over. This is over 12. 101 for 2. What a foundation has been laid by USA in the top 4. Slightly slower. Sweeps, or plays the sweep shot out to the man that's perfectly placed. If you just played that slightly later, could have whipped it around the corner again, and there's no one there. That's a free shot. Run rate is impressive, touching 9. Partnership onto 68. Now Short talks to his short third and then says he just wants him to move a couple of paces. So he's there to save 1. Needs to walk in. Oh, and that's exactly the plan that he has. And Weerasinghe has a dab at it. Can't connect. So the end of the short over. Another 11 off it. Very productive for USA. Alam on 43, Weerasinghe on 28. 8 overs to go. 102 for 2. Run rate at 8.8. So Cable is making a couple of adjustments. So this is more of a spread field. It will be a change of bowler. It won't be Clint Cable that will continue, but rather Glenn Giddings. So his first over. Well, what a time to come on. You at hiding to nothing. It's a 68 partnership. Alam in full cry. Weerasinghe is looking threatening. Glenn Giddings, can he turn the tide? Very quiet, the Australian fielders, and you can understand why. They're under immense pressure. Giddings, can he start well? almost thought that they were in business. I've seen in match number 1 the value of the slow bowlers, the turners. That's lovely from Giddings. Just the length is impressive. You know that you've got 2 batters attacking you. That's the mindset. Oh, a bit of verbal from the Australian fielders. That's what you want to hear, just the encouragement. Slightly quicker from Giddings. No timing there. That's good. Glenn Giddings has put up his hand. He's playing a containing role now. 3 balls into his first over, only conceding 2. Brilliant fielding off his own bowling. Right, so now Giddings, has he built enough pressure to get a false shot from Alam? Slightly slower, dragged across. Is that a hit or direct? It would have been gone. Excellent fielding and bowling from Glenn Giddings. Needs to finish strong for his team. He's pulled it back in this over. Can't concede a boundary now. Again, they walk down. They'll talk about that single straight to the fielder. The last thing you want is just to throw your wicket away with an unnecessary run out. We're a Singer on 29. Alam fast approaching 50. Long discussion. I'm sure Mr. Pillay will say, right, let's get on with it. Just nudged around the corner. It's a great start for Glenn Giddings. Only 4 off it. When your team is conceding almost 9 to the over and you've gone for 4 at this stage of the innings with 2 batters set, I think you've done a great job. So well done to Glenn Giddings delivering for his team. 106 for 2, still an attractive score for USA. 42 legal deliveries still remaining. Runner ball gets you a 150. They'll want more than that. So double change for Australia. Craig Willis is introduced for the baggy greens. He'll go away to Weerasinghe, 30 from 17. As you bat in partnerships, you bowl in partnerships as well. Pressure was certainly applied in the previous over. So important for Craig Willis to continue. Partnership for the 3rd wicket of 72. Will be 1. The field set is again for a foolish line on off stump. That's what you're aiming for. Yes, there's 2 players on the leg side, more protecting the short delivery. Any willow on the leg side is going to be 1. Although there's a bit of a conference there, so maybe not so much towards the mid wicket area. He's straight, so literally anything square that you just nudge around the corner is 1 and could potentially be 2. So he's got to be tight on off stump. That's where he is, by wide called, and then off the keeper's pads will allow an extra run. So that's 2 extras. Brilliant shot. Lovely. Again, pierces the gap, goes towards the fence. 4 more. Weerasinghe racing along. He's not going to be contained. Healthy strike rate, 35 of 19. Starting to catch Fazal Alam. Where do you plug the gap? That's the question. How do you contain? Where do you stop the boundaries? Guides it into the gap again. It's going to be the same result. Wrist work excellent from Weerasinghe. Back-to-back 4s. So the response is drop the man back to the fence. So now you have, if you count in, you've got 3 saving the boundary on the offside. Long off is the straight option. Cover point in third man. Well, call him a wideish third man is back as well, and then you have a short third in the inner circle. Another move made. So they're happy to give away 1. They don't want to give the 4 away on the offside. The line remains the same. It can't drop short, can't be too straight on the pads. Well, he's too short. It's a risk-free shot. Will be at least 2, could potentially be 3. All about the non-striker turning, and it will be 3. Excellent running by USA, and especially Alam. He's made that into a 3. Well appreciated by the dugout. 14. It's another very expensive over for Australia. Straight to the fielder, won't move, they'll give the single away. "15 runs off the over. What do they do next? 9 to the over. Do they stick with the Willis? Is this going to be an immediate change? Short burst from Craig Willis. Oh, that's the one, but the damage has been done. 16 off it. 122 for 2. Alam 46. Weerasinghe on 43.
USA are playing against us. Australia, USA are 122 for 2 of the 14 overs. I'll keep you updated.
Partnership 88. 12 runs shy of 3 figures. How valuable has that been for USA?
South Africa were 188 after 18. You see, double check? Yeah, 188 after 18. 2.
Glenn Giddings has been the most economical of the bowlers for Australia. He's first going for 4 and he's getting a second. It's just about containing now. The bleeding is done. The wounds are open at this stage. What sort of score will the US have in mind from this position? 6 overs to go. Drags it across to the leg side again. Weerasinghe ticks over another single. He's on to 44.
What time did you guys start?
Alam, 1 scoring shot away from a half century. Slow from Giddings, and he whipped, just drags this across. It's got too much speed. That is the scoring shot for 50. Milestone for Fazal Alam. Well appreciated by his teammates. He can raise the bat, take it all in. Fazal Alam. 50 or 44 deliveries. Glenn Giddings, having conceded 5 or 4 of his first over, has conceded 5 of the first 2 deliveries of his second. Giddings goes wide and says, okay, I'll keep dragging it across. The wrist work and the approach remains the same. Now Wera Singer needs a 6 to get to 50. 44 of 23. Game-changing knock. We've seen so much of this drag across to leg side. Will have enough pace to beat the fielder. Moves on to 48. Giddings' overs cost 10 with 2 deliveries remaining. This has been some onslaught by especially Alam and Wera Singer. Helped by the start that they got. Johnson walks across, leaves his keeping position. Partnership 2 shy of 100. Well, there's not much discussion to have here. The game plan is, it's just whip across the line, drag it across from off stump. There's no interest shown in the cut shot or the drive at this stage. It's purely drag across from off to leg. Around the wicket is Giddings. There, finally we do see a cut shot. Wera Singer onto 49. Oh, he's bowled him. Alam finally departs at the offside. He opened up the stance and he saw the vacant opportunity. Failed to pull it off. Giddings gets a wicket. Finally, this partnership comes to an end. Alam will take in the applause. He'll deserve all of it. It brings to an end the 15th over. It's another 11 off it, but Giddings does get the breakthrough. 133 for 3. Wera Singer on 49. He'll be joined by Balbir Singh. You won't see this on screen, but what a knock. 51. Partnership 99. Craig Willis will get another over. He conceded 16 of his first. Wera Singer, 1 short of a milestone. Balbir Singh new at the crease. 133 for 3. 30 legal deliveries remaining. What are you going to say? 170, 180 on the cards for USA. Runner ball is a guaranteed 163. That's going to take some chasing already. That's without anything more than a runner ball. It's going to be a big score, especially if Wera Singer stays at the crease. He's going at a serious strike rate. Craig Willis, he needs a better second over. Too short. Result will be the same, and Weera Singh will bring up his 50. Umpire Pillay did well at square leg. Just a bit of a two-step shuffle. Otherwise that could have been nasty. Don't want that to hit your shin bone. That came off the bat with some force from Weera Singh. Craig Willis being naughty there. You can't drop short if you have no one in protection on the square leg boundary. The pitch is too slow. It's going to sit up, and it's there for the taking, especially to a man like this. Misses out. Good keeping by Johnson behind the stumps. Brings Balbir Singh on to strike. Does Craig Willis change his field? Does he try and keep Balbir Singh on strike? Or just maybe starve Weera Singh of a couple of deliveries? Well, there's no movement in the Aussie field just yet. Now there's one fielder coming off the fence into the inner circle. I think that is a good move, but you've got to save one. You probably need to be a bit tighter on the one. There's a little dab at it. That's a mini victory to Craig Willis. Just short of a length with a bit of bounce. That's good from Craig Willis. How long can he keep Balbir Singh on strike? Brilliant. That's beat him outside off stump. Needs to close it off with another good one. 5 conceded. Yeah, I would rather spread my field. Give him the one. Start the new over to the new batter. Just being mindful of the match situation. I wouldn't mind bowling at Balbir Singh in the next over. Yeah, there we go. Give him one almost, but cut off. Brings to an end Craig Willis' second over. 138 for 3. Weera Singh on 54. Singh still to get off the mark. So with 24 deliveries still remaining, runnable. That's 162 on the board. Couple of boundaries, 170, maybe that's what they will have in mind. 170, 175, is that still on? All depends on how Australia pull this back. How can they contain the boundaries? They'll be happy to give a runnable. I think they'll take 160 now, to be honest. If they get offered 160 from this position, I think Australia will walk off and say, thanks, we'll take that. That's a good result for Australia. Only one, and it is Weera Singh. So that brings Balbir Singh on strike. For Glenn Giddings, I would take the risk. I would bring in the field. I would try and contain, keep him on strike. That's what you want to do. Strengthen your offside. Bring the offside field, or the fielder protecting the boundary. I would bring him in. Because anything you bowl too full with a bit of willow on it. There we go. That's the exact example. That's one. Hindsight, exact science. Easy to talk after the event, but I think they could have taken the risk. Weera Singh. What does he have? How's he going to take the fight to Glenn Giddings? It's pitched up and perfectly placed and executed once again. Weera Singh with another 4. And it's no fault of Glenn Giddings, to be honest. It's full, it's outside off stump. It's just dragged across. That's been the game plan for Weera Singh and company. You're almost at a point where you say, Captain, how many fielders do I need on the leg side boundary? There's been no inclination to go on the offside drive at all. It's been one approach. And it's worked. To give him credit where it's due. Again, same idea. It's way outside off stump, but you'll see that the game plan, there we go. Now he's practicing the straight, the on drive. That's not where he's going. So Giddings, 1 for 21. Can he pick up another one? Again, he's way outside off stump, dragged across. They think two, they won't go for two. Very good fielding. Right, so now Giddings 7 conceded. Again, I would be match situation, give Singh the 1. Hang back your field. Keep Weerasinghe off strike. There, that's a good result for Australia. Now they need to make sure it stays 1. It stays 1. No, it won't. It won't. Excellent running by USA. That will keep Weerasinghe on strike. End of the Giddings over. 9 off it. $147. 3 shy of 150. Weerasinghe 60. Singh 3. Pick up the bowlers from here. Richard Anderson is back in the attack. He'll probably bowl out and bowl overs 18 and 20. He has 2 remaining. Only gone for 4 to the over, picked up 2 wickets. So what field does he now employ? Third man is on the fence. That's for that little dab, that cut shot. And then he has a deep backward point. And then long off, long on, mid-wicket boundary. That's what's covered in the boundary department. Then he goes too short. It is cut away. Lots of work to be done. Excellent. Once again from Australia. A lot of work needed to be done and ground made. But it is another 2 to Weerasinghe. That's towards the fielder. Well, oh, he's backed off a couple of steps. Just didn't fancy it. $150 on the board. Weerasinghe 63, Singh 3. I just wonder in the thought process for Richard Anderson, does he not say that I bring in the extra fielder? Singh has really not shown anything just yet that he's going to be aggressive, and as I praise Anderson, he gives up the delivery that's too straight, and it's again with the strong wrist work from USA. Singh helps it around the corner. No one there, can't protect the 4. Singh on to 7. They're going to think 2, and they can get to because it's perfectly placed in the gap. Excellent running by Weerasinghe and Singh. So for this cut shot, it's easy to talk in the 18th over, but I would plug that gap. I would bring up the field. They've got 2 on the boundary at the moment. For me, the third man, I would bring up into that circle. That's a intended off drive that goes to no man's land. They'll think 2 again, and they'll stick to going for the 2. Anderson does well to offer the support, but they can't prevent the 2. Another good over. 11 off it. Richard Anderson, 1 ball shy of completing his third. This is over 18, 158 for 3. So the 160 is in the bank, 170 is probably in the bank, 180 on the cards, 22 from the last 13. Great fielding of his own bowling from Richard Anderson, whereas Singer will be on strike. For the next over, he's 63 of 34, Singh on 11, 158 for 3. We've reached the last 2 overs. Clint Kibble has his cap off. He's bowled 2 overs for 20. It's an important over. Run rate, a very healthy run rate, 8.8. The umpires will probably be best served to say, come on lads, we had a break at 10 overs. You can understand where a Singer is probably pretty tired, 34 balls, it's been eventful, 63. So Kebble only had the cap off. It's still off, but it's not going to be his return. But Glenn Giddings will bowl out his 4 over spell. 1 for 24, his return. Where a Singer. Well, there's going to be nothing short but a full out attack, surely, from the man that's set. 63 of 34. That's well bowled. Excellent. I like the speed from Glenn Giddings. It's also getting the appreciation from the dugout. Very clever cricketer, seasoned campaigner Glenn Giddings. Leg side boundary runners, it's coming your way. That's what I would say. Here we go. Here we go. Just evading the fielder for more. You look at this field and you go, well, there's a short third, but it's pointless taking him out of towards the leg side boundary because they'll turn it into a dab shot and it's free runs. The keeper will have to cut that area off. So really, the best advice, well, the best area is to bring in the cover fielder that's on the fence, bring him into the cover region, saving 1, and then drop another player down to the leg side boundary. That's basically the only thing you can do. Well, that's head up, and that's not going to do anything for Wera Singer. He's been so good with his head down, waiting for the ball. He's had good timing, 37 balls faced, 67 on the board. But the intent has been there all along. It's leg side favoured onslaught. That's what it is. He does produce an off drive, but he'll get 1. Oh, that's fine. That's a good result. Giddings won't mind that. So we are in the final stages, so keep the field as is. The batters will do the same thing. Walls is down the track, or is that a mis-stumping? Was that contact there? Johnson has been pretty good with the gloves. Balbia Singh, so he's going to waltz down the track. Slow it down, slow that speed down. See if you can beat him outside off. And then Johnson is in play. It's full. That's an excellent over by Giddings. Under the pressure that he's faced, well, it will be only 1 finger will be raised. Favourable decision from square leg. So great fielding from the boundary. Does produce the run out. Excellent return. Good glove work by Johnson. Giddings won't get the credit for the wicket because it's run out. But he played his part in a very economical 19th over. Penultimate over of the innings is something of the past. 164 it will be because they get credit for the single. They went for the 2.
Well, that's a good question. Who is SP?
Satyapal Chabra joins Weerasinghe. Weerasinghe 68. How good has he been? 38 deliveries faced. We've reached the last 6 deliveries. 164 for 4.
Like Sanjeev's batting? Class all over.
Craig Gislingham will be entrusted with the final over. That partnership was 31. So the storyline continues. It's offside loaded, but Weerasinghe, if it's anything outside off, he's going to drag it across. That's going to be the game plan, nothing different. But because of the run out, Satyapal Chabra is on strike. No, it can't be. He won't be on strike because the previous batter was run out at the keeper's end. So it will be Weerasinghe. Weerasinghe is on strike. So he's going to be, he's leg side dominant. That's where he's going. He's not going to be too interested in the offside. 3 fielders currently doing duty on the leg side for Australia. 1 saving 1. Here we go. Oh, there we go. Did the foot lift? Mr. Pillay says no. Excellent from Gislingham. Oh, that's where Weerasinghe go back into the approach that's worked for him. Whatever I see, I drag across. Great glove work again by Johnson. Oh, it's another shot on the offside and it's out. Well, there we go. Gislingham gets the wicket. Weerasinghe, first shot on the offside, he missed. There was a appeal for a stumping. Second one, scooped it into the offside. And there was a willing grabber. That is the end of an excellent knock. Weerasinghe will get the handshakes walking off. Good sportsmanship as well from the Australian fielders. He'll get the full applause. It's been some onslaught by Weerasinghe. 68 has put the USA in a massive position of strength. 164 for 5. 4 deliveries now remaining. Gislingham in the wickets column. Well, he'll walk off to a good reception from his teammates. Sahir Shahanawaz joins Satyapal Chabra. Well, there's only one approach. What a way for Craig Gislingham to announce his return. 3 dots and a wicket in there. Well, I was talking about the 170, 175. It is still on, but I think Australia will do very well to get this under the 170. That's short, straight to the fielder, but they will get the one. And a direct hit. Was the bat grounded? Umpire Charlesworth says yes. Excellent from Gislingham. Chabra facing up for the first time. Nice and full, and won't beat the inner ring. Even at this stage, putting body on the line. Good work from Australia in the inner circle. That leaves one. Final delivery, 166 for 5. Shahanawaz will give it the kitchen sink. Straight back at Gislingham, off his own bowling, won't get there quickly enough. Excellent over by Gislingham. Only conceding 3 and picking up a wicket. And that brings to a close a very eventful USA innings. The question is, can Australia chase down 168. Time will tell. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll bring you the much anticipated chase. Very good effort by USA. 167 for 5, helped along by Weera Singh's classy knock of 68 from 40 deliveries, and Fazal Alam's 51 of 46. 168 is what Australia will need for victory. Good afternoon and welcome back to Cape Town and Claremont Cricket Club. It's the Over-55s International Cricket Tournament, proudly hosted by the Mother City. T20 format, the first 2 days, and then we have a valuable rest day, and then we switch over to 45 overs per side. Australia's equation is simple. They need 168 and they need to be aggressive in this power play period where two fielders are allowed outside the inner circle. 168 is what Australia require to go back to back, having beaten Zimbabwe on the opening day. Balbir Singh is the man entrusted with the new ball in the first over. And he goes away to Darren Rasmussen. Phil Pula is opening with Rasmussen. It's an important passage this for Australia. They want to lay the foundation, start well. That's going to be key towards the possibility of chasing down an imposing target that stands at 168. There was a real opportunity. Wide call down the leg side. Good keeping. USA have done the hard work with the bat. Now the bowlers need to back up what the batters have done. Can Australia find a way into this contest with a good opening stand? Slightly short cutaway, and that's where the protection is. So the two fielders both out on the offside boundary. No one protecting the leg side boundary. Second of the two matches on this pitch earlier today, Wales beating Zimbabwe by 15 runs. So they've made it 2 from 2. Australia looking to do the same. It's full. It's up in the air. Almost came around in time to give himself an opportunity. Both openers off the mark. Disciplined start by Balbir Singh. Keeper up to the stumps. Slightly slower and aerial into the gap. When you need to go at 8.6 to the over from the onset, someone needs to be the aggressor, not up front. You want to just have a look at the pitch, see what the bowler is doing, and then decide how you're going to go about getting the 168 required. Tidy over from Balbir Singh. Pula has 1, Rasmussen has 2, Australia 4 without the loss of a wicket. Himanshu Patadia is the USA candidate that will run from the commentary end. Carefully going about setting the right field. At this stage is a group of players together. It's keeper, slip, short third, point still moving around, so that's not official. And again, they've left the leg side boundary unprotected. Only two fielders will make it 3. Player coming across from the offside. So 3 on the leg side, and then the two fielders out of the circle, which you won't see on screen, is long off, long on. So that also tells you that the idea here is for Patadia to go full and straight. If he misses his length or goes short, it's trouble. Cannot bowl short. That's the one thing he can't do. Full and off stump, yes. Oh, there's an advancement from Rasmussen. Will get away with it. That's good from, especially the non-striker. Pula saw the opportunity and called through Rasmussen. So as Australia opened with spin. USA using spin in the second over. Too short for, great shot, just rocked back, waited for the ball to sit up. It's Well put away from full puller. Small margins, but that is the game of cricket. You just miss your area, and if you don't have anyone protecting that left side boundary, it's a free hit. The captain can't be asked to set a field for indifferent deliveries. That's full, 2 full, and will be a repeat. 4 more coming the way of Australia. Won't be cut off. Too much volume on that bat. Full puller goes back to back. Good start for Australia. Quiet first over that produced 4. Now suddenly 9 of the first 3 deliveries of the Patadia over. Does that bring about a change in field? The answer is yes. So what they've sacrificed is long off has come up to mid off. And you do feel that's the right decision. Left arm around, through and around. Just the angle of delivery should be going towards the pads. Unless he goes outside off stump and then keeps it on that sort of line. But if he misses, the ball that turns into the legs, that's the danger area. You don't want that. That's much better. Good recovery from Patadia. 2 dots. Dots very valuable. It's gold at the moment. 13 Australia in pursuit of 168. Also drags it across. The right idea. They've raced through the first 2 overs, 13 without the loss of a wicket. Australia needing another 155. Puller on 9, Rasmussen on 3. Patadia's first costing 9. We'll keep an eye on that required run rate. At this stage, it's still manageable, 8.6. It's all going to come down to this power play. I believe if you make the most of the scoring opportunities and the field restrictions and they get off to a good fast start, Australia will put themselves in a position where they can just negotiate and work the ball into the gaps. Lose a couple of wickets and USA will be on the front foot. Singh will bowl his second. Off a short run up. Full ideal line and length from Balbir Singh. Excellently bowled. Definitely not out of Australia's reach. It's a manageable target. They also need someone that bats through, someone with a power knock. Oh, and that's not going to be full puller today. He's only managed to find the fielder on the offside, straight into the hands. That's a big blow for Australia's cause and towards the ambitions of getting to that 168. Powerful hitter is full puller, but not working for him today. He's gone for 9. First strike USA and Balbir Singh. And that will bring Kebble to the crease. He'll be very angry with himself, puller. Shot was on, just the execution lacking for him on this occasion. Clint Kebble played a role with ball in hand, all-round abilities he needs to produce with the bat for the Aussies. 14 for 1, early strike. Again, you can have the right field in place, but your bowler has to bowl to that plan, and so far so good for USA. Bar the previous over, the 2 freebies put away by Australia. Now much tighter. Pressure onto Clint Kebble. They don't want to lose another one quickly, especially in this power play period. It's full. Kebble on the walk as he plays that one. Finishes 3-4 paces out of his crease. Just the momentum as he walked after that shot. Kebble off the mark. Oh, he's reached for that. No win really for Darren Rasmussen fetching or trying to fetch that one that wide outside off stump. Let it go. Don't take the risk of a little edge into the keeper's gloves. The wide is a freebie extra delivery. There we go. That's what he wanted, and he beats the inner ring. Was a hand on the ball. They'll think two, they'll turn two, and they'll get the two. Good running from Rasmussen and Kebble. Too wide and called as such by umpire Pillay. Two standing umpires, Alvin Pillay from South Africa and Jeff Charlesworth from Australia. Jeff and his wife out visiting South Africa as well. Spoke to him earlier and how they were loving the experience. Umpires just as important. Oh, it's aerial, it's gone! Double strike from Singh. Rasmussen goes for 6. Australia in all sorts of trouble. 19 for 2 after 3.
Hang on, mate.
19, 1-9. 19 for 2. Oh, that's a big over from Balbia Singh.
Yes, over.
2 overs, 2 for 10.
Innings.
Unfortunate for Australia. They've lost both of their openers. That brings Glenn Giddings to the crease. Oh, this is going to be a tough one now. 149 to win. Small pockets. That's what Australia will talk about. Okay, renegotiate. 3 more overs. Let's just get through this power play period and reassess. Yes, you've got to be alert to that required run rate. But brilliant start for USA. Having put on 167, a very impressive 167. They've now taken 2 wickets in the first 3 overs. Clint Kewell takes his mark, first time that he's going to face Himanshu Patadia. Expensive first over from Patadia. And the other aspect is you quickly look up. You've got an opening bowler from a short run up. You've got a spinner from the other end. You look up and 4 or 5 overs has passed. So they're making a big effort to race through the overs, put the pressure, apply that scoreboard pressure on Australia. And at this stage, they've worked their magic. Required run rate already knocking on 9 to the over. And to maintain that for the better part of 16 overs, that's not easy. So Kebble goes on a little march. Will get 1. As he hit it, he ran. And that was the key to getting to the other end. When you've committed, you need to go. Again, very full from Patadia. Straight away off the mark is Glenn Giddings. Disciplined start from the opening pair. Patadia hasn't taken the wickets, but he needs to complement what has happened from the other end. Kebble goes on a slash. He's out. It's 3 down for Australia in no time. It was there to hit. Outside half of the bat. Just a touch far for him to execute properly, and Kebble is walking back. Short stay at the innings, comes to a crease, comes to an end. Only 5 deliveries faced. That's a big blow again for Australia. Oh, they're 3 down, 21 for 3 in the 4th over. Table Mountain has fast become Everest.
So where's Nike?
Himanshu Patadia with his first wicket. And Australia in all sorts of trouble. 21 for 3, would you believe it? It was always going to be a tough ask to chase down 168, but the last thing you wanted is losing 3 in the power play. Still another 2 overs to go after this to complete the 6. Now, what did the USA do? Did they apply a bit more pressure, bring in some of the 2 boundary fielders that they have in place at the moment? Do they bring them up? Do they entice Australia and say, okay, we're going to give you another carrot? Would you take it or not? At this stage, the answer is no. Giddings is new at the crease. He's 1 off 1. Oh, it's a magic ball from Himanshu Patadia. Craig Gingham would not have fancied that he would be batting in the 4th over. 4 done, 21 for 3. Australia on the back foot. So they'll stay with Balbir Singh, and why not? 2 for 10. Mr. Giddings and Mr. Gingham, what do you have? What can you do? How can you launch a fight back? Lots of thinking in that Australian camp now. They're looking up at the scoreboard. 9.2 to the over. 7 wickets in hand. Hasn't gone according to plan today. Especially after winning the toss. Oh, that's going to be misfield and through the legs and 4. It's a freebie. Giddings will say, it doesn't matter how they come. It's just slightly short. Width of it. Cut away. But should have been stopped, to be honest. Offers the cut shot again. This time, much better fielding. And the captain says, okay, with Giddings showing his intent to late cut, he's going to move his cover fielder on the boundary. He's going to bring him square, backward of point. I'm not going to call him a third man. He's wider than that. The third man is in the inner circle. So they've plugged 2 potential boundary shots. That late cut shot that Giddings has shown. And this time, too full to play the cut shot. It's good from Balbir Singh. Asking the question, saying, let's see if you want to play a cut shot off the back foot, which Giddings won't do. Very disciplined by USA up front. 4.3 overs. They haven't offered too much. Nothing short. All full. Oh, he's bowled him. He has cleaned him up. Giddings now makes the long walk back to the pavilion. And Balbir Singh is on fire. 3 for 14 off 2.4 overs. They made a subtle change to the field, but that wouldn't have made a difference. Just no feet from Glenn Giddings. Caught on the crease. Excellent result for Balbir Singh and USA. Australia in further trouble. They're in hot water. 25 for 4.
I like it, I like it.
It is alright. I'm feeling good today. This morning wasn't feeling good. Well, yeah, but the last 3 nights have been unbelievable. So, 40 minutes on, 40 minutes off, 40 minutes on. Occasionally I'll go to sleep, 15 minutes or whatever. But in the
Certainly not over, but this is proving very tough for Australia. They're not helping themselves in the chase of 168. 9.3 to the over required. 25 for 4. They haven't put any partnerships together. Yes, brilliant discipline bowling by USA. You have to acknowledge that as well. A couple of loose deliveries. That was both dispatched to the boundary. But apart from that, they've been spot on in their execution, their planning. Implementation has been on par, USA. Don't really get the field on the offside. There's two players in close proximity. Oh, and that's missed by the keeper and will be wide. So this is 3 runs to Australia and an extra ball. Shouldn't get, well, will get to the fence. That's 5 wides. Naughty from Balbia Singh. You've just taken a wicket. You're bowling at Paul Bennett and you want to make him play. Not a good one. Having just praised USA on the execution and their planning, Balbia Singh offers a wide one. Keeper misses and it goes for 5 wides. Much better. USA right on top of Australia. Gingham and Bennett both still to get off the mark. Full knocked into the gap for 1, so Bennett will get off the mark. It's another good over for USA, another good over for Balbia Singh. 3 for 20 of his 3 overs. Do they persist with the spin? The logic says yes. I wouldn't change it. Don't think there's any need to change the sequence. And more importantly, do they give Singh another over? Do they bowl him out? They've got Australia on the ropes. The immediate answer, the first answer is yes. They maintain the status quo. Himanshu Pataria, having picked up a wicket in his previous over, 1 for 11, will start his 3rd over. And will run away to Paul Bennett, who's fresh at the crease, along with Craig Gingham. Left arm around the wicket. So if he fancies the sweep and he pulls it off, there's a boundary option for him. It's full. Launches into that. Misfield, hits the knee. That should be at least 2. They can think 3. They might even get 4. Even with the leg in the way, okay, it will pull up short. So they're definitely 3 on offer. Long boundary out on the offside as you are looking at the picture. So Bennett goes to 4. Gingham yet to get off the mark. So that's where Pataria needs to be mindful. If he is just too straight and he offers the width, it can be whipped off his pads and it's a free shot. It's a free scoring area. Field restrictions still in place for the next 4 deliveries. Got away with that one. Slightly quicker to Bennett. Nice straight bat. Technically very correct from Paul Bennett. Then just drops it slightly shorter. And Bennett taps back. 35 for 4 as we approach the end of the power play. Power play that has 100% belonged to USA. Bennett went off on the run, but Gingham had none of it. So with the power play about to finish, what do the USA do differently? Do they change it up? Do they bowl Singh out? Allowed to meet the ball on the half volley. Can't pierce the gap though. A single will take Bennett to 5. Tidy over. Pataria conceding 5. 36 for 4. Power play is done. Signal comes from the umpire. Yeah, I think that's a positive approach by the captain. Balbir Singh has been superb. He's picked up 3 for 20. He's broken the back of the Australian top order. Give him that opportunity. Give him the 4th over. Required run rate almost at 9.5. You've got to maintain that for 14 overs plus. That wickets column, that's the headache. That's the problem area. The problem child is that they've lost four big batters in their lineup. Again, it's just food for thought. But having Australia in this position, why take back all the fielders? If the restrictions are lifted, yes, but why then take 5 players out immediately when you have 1 player on 5, 1 batter on 1, 36 for 4, you on top? You squeeze another wicket, Australia will be on the ropes. You might argue and say they're already on the ropes. So again, that goes to the question, why have 5 fielders out just because the restrictions are lifted? That's an easy single. One of those fielders will come in and do the sweeping work. I just think with a bowler that's got his tail up, Balbir Singh is in his last over, he's picked up 3. Give him every opportunity to get 4, maybe 5. What's evident from Gingham is also he likes the cut shot. Fancies that back foot and then square cuts. It's definitely a favoured area. Reaches for that. Very good little plan of action from Balbir Singh. He's seen the cut shot and now he's dropped back his length slightly. Goes fuller this time. No, not enough boundaries, too many wickets. That's the 2 of the circles that Australia will make in the analysis. It's that initial burst. The wickets they lost in that power play, that's done some serious damage to their cause. Balbir Singh is bowling out, dabbed towards a 3rd that's in the circle. Well bowled, Balbir Singh will take the credit of his teammates. He'll put his cap on. He can afford to relax slightly. He still needs to do and play a role in the field. But his analysis, 4 overs, 3 for 23. That's a fantastic return for Balbir Singh. Also had some batting opportunity. And they'll bowl out the opening pair, will they? Maybe there is a change imminent. Indeed. So it won't be Himanshu Patadia, who's picked up a wicket. 1 for 16 off his 3. Ayashek. More spin coming. It's always going to be a key ingredient on this pitch. Remember, second match of the day. Earlier, Wales beating Zimbabwe by 15 runs on the same surface. And both of these teams would have learned some lessons out of that performance or that match. Gingham 2, Bennett 7, 39 for 4, needing a further 129 of 13 overs. First opportunity to watch Ayashek. Required run rate, well, that's tough. That's 10, 9.9. Probably reach a point where you say, well, might as well just go for it. That's full. Nice friendly welcome to the crease, and Mr. Bennett will dish up a full toss outside off stump. The ball you would like to receive from a new bowler up front. Those are probably also some of the tougher ones to deal with. You get a juicy full toss outside off stump and you can pretty much put it anywhere. It's not always the easiest ones to deal with. Oh, dropped it. Dropped it. It was slow in the air. It sat up. And Gingham had 24 years to pick his spot, and then found the fielder who dropped it. Very slow through the air, Ayah Sheikh. And Gislingham, might it be his day? Just see, that's quicker through the air. Again, the aerial route towards the fielder that just grasped it. The previous one was super slow motion. And that is a key ingredient for a spinner as well, varying your speed. Look at that, lots of air. Bennett meets it on the half volley, taps it towards the fielder who tries a Cristiano Ronaldo but fails in his execution, goes to the boundary for 4 more. Ayah Sheikh won't appreciate that. Stuck out the old left boot, missed it completely, and that's 4 runs gifted to Paul Bennett. Did well, met it on the half volley, good straight bat. Not quite there to go onto the back foot, but Bennett committed and get a single. So it's 7 off the over, 46 for 4. That required rate is now officially 10. So Gislingham surviving in this over. He has to see out another delivery. Invites the cut shot. Good fielding by USA in the inner ring. Prevents the one. That's the end of the first Ayah Sheikh over. 8 gone, 46 for 4. Force change at the top. Raj Arderne. It looks like Raj Arderne will also offer more spin, and that's they load it with spin options. Paul Bennett on strike, runnable 13. Well, now this is going to be a big chase for the keeper. Will be 2. Well, the equipment, we see how that's transitioned over time. The old generation keeper the pads would have been visible. You would have had to run after that uncomfortably. Nowadays it's shin pads hidden away in the trousers. Makes keepers more flexible and movable. Brings Gislingham on strike, 49 for 4. We take drinks at 10 overs. Again, that inclination. Gislingham, he likes that cut. He wants to be on the cut shot. He wants to be on their back foot. Now tries and plays around his pad. First time of asking as he plays against the turn. Umpire gives a decision in favour of USA. And it's gone from bad to worse. Gislingham never looked settled. He's walking back for 3. And it's 49 for 5. The introduction of Raj Arderne brings about another wicket for USA. They're on top. So Australia, they've lost half their team. And they still need 119 to win. We're busy with over number 9. It's just been one of those days where things haven't quite clicked for Australia. 167 runs conceded in the field, 49 for 5 with the bat. John Short has a job to do. Off the mark is John Short. Bat and pad closely together, works on the onside for 1. That's 50 up for Australia. Oh, sharp delivery from Raj Panadare. 1 for 4 of his first over. More success for USA. Paul Bennett on 16. John Short has 1. 50 for 5. Over 8 has been very impressive. 35 minutes starting the 10th over. Aya Sheikh will go to the new man, John Short. Brings him forward. They think about 1. They wisely decide against that. They've plugged those gaps and they're nice and tight on the 1s, USA. Oh, has he got him? Has he got him? He's got him! John Short just gave it the old waltz. Was beaten outside off stump. Brilliant glove work behind. And that is number 6 down. John Short, his stay at the crease has been a short one. 1 from 3 deliveries. It's 50 for 6. Sheikh in the wickets column. Umpires will probably decide that will be the drinks break. 3 balls shy of 10 overs. Good time to take drinks as USA's extra players run onto the field with some much needed refreshments. It is a disaster for Australia. They're chasing 168. They're 50 for 6. Busy with the 10th over. Halfway through the 10th over. Paul Bennett is standing alone. 16 of 16. Wickets column, Balbir Singh, superb up front. 3 for 23. Raj Padadare with 1 for 4. Aya Sheikh now with 1 for 7. And Himanshu Patadia 1 for 16. It's problem times for Australia. 50 for 6. USA right on top. We welcome you back to Claremont Cricket Club in Cape Town in South Africa. It is the international cricket tournament, the Over-55s, and a absolute nightmare for Australia at the moment. 50 for 6 in the 10th over in pursuit of 168. So drinks taken at the fall of the 6th wicket, which was halfway through the 10th over. Paul Bennett has 16. He's been joined by Australia's keeper James Johnston. Aya Sheikh in the wickets column, 1 for 7. Nice and flight, it's wide, called by umpire Charlesworth from Australia. That was slow and flighted. Big appeal to umpire Charlesworth, and he says no. 51 for 6. Sheikh varying his speed. It's very, very subtle changes from Sheikh. That's the other one, turns the other way. He can give you the off break, leg break.
We go it.
Johnson just backing off as USA makes a change in the field. That's 2 full and turned around the corner. Should be 2. Johnson is quick. Easily make his ground, so he's off the mark. Ends the 10th over, 53 for 6. Johnston on 2, Bennett on 16. Raj Banadare will get his second over. It's spin, spin and more spin coming Australia's way. It was always going to be a key factor, the execution and game plan of USA, and they've done that brilliantly this afternoon. Bennett again just advancing down the track. And sportsmanlike behaviour, touched his pad and then ricocheted away, and Bennett said no, we won't run for that. Late afternoon in Cape Town. Nice to see some of the local community coming out to support the tournament, especially the youngsters. Lots of kids playing around the boundary rope. That's too wide in width off it. You can free the arms and Bennett gets another single. Singles won't do it, unfortunately. But the boundary scoring options have been few and far between. Just a tough day at the office so far. Never over until it's over, but this is really the pendulum heavily in favour, swung in that USA favour. Surely they won't lose or give Australia a bit of a sniff and an open door. Johnson just plays around his pad smartly and gets 1. And that's what you'll find, typical shot from a keeper. A lot of wrist work, and will be busy at the crease. That's attributes that a keeper has. That will complement Bennett, but first thing now, there's no more wickets. Falls back into the shot as he cuts straight to the fielder. Oh, yeah. Racing through there is Raj Banadare. 1 for 6. too short. This time rocks back. But again, field placing is perfect by USA. Bennett will keep the strike. He's on to 18, 56 for 6 at the end of another Arderne over.
Craig.
Hello, Craig.
Hey? Single. So, 56.
No, you can just talk. I'm joined in commentary by Craig Gingham. Craig, lovely to have you. Officially welcome to South Africa, although you've been welcomed probably 1,000 times, but from my side, welcome. It's great to have you here. Not the game you would have wanted. A lot of pressure in the bowling department. USA batted extremely well, and the wickets in crucial times in that power play has just put your team on the back foot.
First of all, thanks for having the Australian team. It's been fantastic so far with what we've done, things we've seen. It's been great. Look, 2020, any game of cricket's amazing. You know, runs on the board, you get a bit nervy and you know you have to start going for the runs, and you do things you probably normally wouldn't do when you go out to bat. And all credit to the USA, they've bowled really well, and it's one of those days with cricket.
I guess that's why we love this game, because every day is a new opportunity, it's a new challenge, and yesterday is in the past, tomorrow's in the future. Spin loaded in this team, so you know what you're getting from USA. Spin, spin and more spin.
The thing about these sort of competitions, and different to being at home, is that you normally know what you're up against, and so sometimes you go out to bat, you've got no idea what the bowler does, and you really don't know what the batsmen are doing, and so that the idea of setting field for certain batsmen, that goes out the door. And even with the way they bowl, you probably you have to make it up a bit, because you know these guys have got a couple of different balls, every one of them, and if you're playing them all the time, you take that out of it. But as I said, they've bowled really, really well.
I was making a little joke to Jeff Charlesworth, who's the standing umpire, one of the two standing umpires. He's from Australia, and I said no favouritism. So good to have the team and also officials that's made the trip to South Africa. What's it been like? Have you been to South Africa before?
I was here in 2023 when the World Cup was here with the Australian team, and we're lucky enough to play on the top ground. I was a selector for the 50s team back then, so I've been here before, stayed at the same hotel, done roughly the same thing. So, and it's funny, you know, the team, we're struggling to bat like we did last time. So I don't know whether there's something in that. I've no idea.
No, just from a South African perspective and scenery perspective, I know tomorrow you have a well-deserved rest day before we go over to a new format, and that brings new strategy and new plans.
Oh, look, I think our team will be benefited by the 45 over game. With, I suppose, what would I say? We play very traditional type cricket, so we don't like, if you have a look at all our plays, we don't like to hit the ball hard, we like to place and run, and we like to get ourselves in, and then we like to get on with it after that. So we haven't got a lot of time to do what we normally do, and I think you'll find we'll play fairly well in the 45 over format, where we've got a lot more time to settle ourselves in. As we just lose another wicket, Jimmy Johnson. That might be an early day, so we can have a drink.
Yeah, Craig, James going, unfortunately, Australia losing their keeper. He's gone for 4, so it's just been a precision of wickets, and Raj Paradari has taken his second. What's been the best aspect? I know you've been here now in 2023, but on this visit, is there something specifically that you want to tick off the bucket list, something that you didn't quite do in 2023 from a personal perspective, cricket aside, scenery, or something you want to go and do?
Probably, I went out to Robben Island, and it's unimaginable what those guys did and what happened to them out there. When I live in Melbourne, same as wheels over here, and we don't see anything like that. We struggle with the whole what happened here and things like that, but when that's in your face like that about how Nelson Mandela and all the people on that island were treated, it's hard to comprehend how that could ever be able to happen. And it was only in the mid-90s, and we were off going to the pub, having a drink, having the best time of our lives, and we knew nothing about what was going on here. But that one was an eye-opener. It's one of the most saddest things you probably see, but I'm so glad I went and did it. We went up to Tabletop Mountain again, which was great. Tomorrow we're going to out to Aquila to have a look around, which will be fantastic. And another day we're going out to the wine country to have a few drinks and have a bit of fun. But very, very, very much like Australia in many ways. Scenery, people, everything's, it's been very good. It's been a great time.
And being in South Africa, I'll move the USA theme just for a moment. It's just that great rivalry. It doesn't matter which Australian team plays. It's become South Africa, Australia synonymous with great, not cricket rivalries, sporting rivalries.
Oh, 100%. Look, I'd love to go and play America again. Really would. And I think we'd have grit our teeth a little bit more and go a little bit hard. Not that we've been outplayed today. There's no doubt about it. But I'd love to have another go and get a little bit more angry and go a bit harder. Say a few more things between the players, and I think we're a little bit too relaxed out there today.
I've touched with everyone that's been in commentary. I've touched on their journeys and their love for cricket and where it started. But I'm going to ask you directly, growing up and taking a love for cricket, who was the person you built yourself on and said, I want to be like that. This is my sort of a role model that I want to pursue.
Well, I was always a left arm opening bowler, so I used to love Wazzy Makram as I got older, and I was a bit of a middle order bat, so I tried to look at myself and tried to go as a middle order bat, learn how to turn the strike over, and a bit like, I'm a left arm bowler like Wazzy Makram, so I used to, obviously not as good as him, but you could bowl in swingers and out swingers, and I was very lucky in the 90s, late 90s. I had a guy in our team called Dirk Nanners that played for Australia, of course, in the 2020, and I was lucky enough to go into the slips watching him bowl, and another lefty, and it was very, very scary to see people like that bowl at that sort of pace. And of course South Africa have had Alan Donald and guys like that to bowl that express pace, and to see that, so I'd say Wazzy Makram was the man that we used to look at. Just
for interest sake, was it not frowned upon that an Australian cricketer would sort of look at a Pakistan great and base themselves on his action?
I think you'll find a lot of guys my age would have loved Viv Richards, would have loved Gordon Greenidge, Desmond Haynes, Curtly Ambrose. We loved the way they played cricket in Australia. And I suppose when we were in our mid-teens, 20, things like that, the West Indies were at their very, very best. And you'd go to the MCG and watch them play cricket. And, I think a lot of us were there the day when Dennis Lilly had them 3 for 5 or what it was overnight on Boxing Day. It was one of the most magical things in the world to see that. But I would say a lot of Australians loved the West Indies.
What's your best, most fond cricket memory for yourself?
Look, I've been lucky enough to play in quite a few the local cricket. I've played in quite a few grand finals and won quite a few as a cricketer. But it's funny, playing even now, where I played and play now, and play against Louis Cohen and blokes like that have actually played for South Africa. Unbelievable highlight. I know we're all in the mid-50s, but to sit there with these guys that have played at the highest level. We play against New Zealand. New Zealand have got guys that have played in World Cups, and we play cricket against them too. And you just wonder how far you could have gone if you actually pushed yourself as a young guy, instead of a lot of us had kids or had to go and work or things like that. So you missed out on all of that. But just to play against some of these guys this week has been bloody amazing. It's been great.
If I may ask you, the new generation coming through in Australian cricket, what do you make of them? We saw a brilliant Ashes series, maybe not the length of tests that we anticipated as Ashes normally is, but that's life. But what do you make of the class of 2026?
Oh, I think there's a big shift in cricket these days. More into a lot of the young guys, they love the 2020 cricket, not like we were brought up on Test cricket and 50 over cricket. They're a bit more see ball, hit ball. If you hit the ball any way you can. So I don't know how cricket's going to go. I mean, it'll always be there, but it'd be lovely to see some of the guys pick up a bat and actually learn how to play cricket again. You never ever see guys these days like Joe Root, beautiful square cutter of the ball. You don't see anyone square cut anymore.
And this, what I'm going to say now, is not picking on the individual, but it's the Sam Constas of the world that's coming in and lapping in the first over to Jasprit Bumrah.
100%. And then when you see he did that, got up the Indians, and then they'd gone, righto, we know how to get you out now, and look where he is now. And, you know, a lot of guys you talk to in New South Wales, they go, he got there too early. He wasn't ready to play Test cricket, and now he's gone out and done what he has done. And, you know, he's put himself back quite a way because he wants to play this 2020 type cricket in the 4-day format of Shield cricket and Test cricket, where Australia's crying out for people to come and step up and be the next crop of players. So hopefully he does learn, but there's a lot of guys in Australia that want to bat like him, and it's to the detriment of Test cricket.
Let's change the subject just to family. Do you have family that's with you on your travels, or are you alone?
No, I've got no family on the trip. I shouldn't say that. I learnt my lesson a while ago. It's best to come by yourself.
Things not to say in commentary.
Not in that way. But when you come away, you're constantly tired. So you get up at 7 o'clock for breakfast. You get on the bus at 8 o'clock or 8:30. You come to the ground. You go and play cricket. You come home by 9 o'clock at night. You just want to go to sleep, and you want to rest and go to sleep, wake up and do it again. So, and you do that, and on your days off, so a lot of times you just want to have a rest and do nothing. So if you bring the other half, the beautiful one, you have to go and do things that they also want to do, and sometimes it just doesn't, because you're constantly tired, and it can be a bit difficult. So I've been doing this for the best part of about 10 years, playing veterans cricket, and the first 4 or 5 years I brought my partner around and away, and then we figured out it's probably not the best thing to do.
I'll leave you with two more questions. Firstly, for people watching the broadcast that's 55 and above, just what's the greatest aspect? Why take up vets cricket? For someone that might be sitting watching and saying, I still have my pads, I still have my kit, maybe I should do this. Why would you say they need to do it?
Vets cricket, when you get a little bit older, and your kids get older, and it's, you may have struggles here and there, whether it be you might be divorced, things might be happening in your life, and it's good to be. Blokes need to be around other men a lot of times, just to sit there. We don't have to say anything. We just have a laugh and have fun, and we enjoy each other's company, or most of us do anyway. So the highlight, the biggest thing you can get out of playing veterans cricket is all the friends you can make everywhere around the world. Like, look, there's so many teams here today, and everyone will give each other a hug, a cuddle. They'll talk, they'll have fun. But it is about winning, but also it's about making a lot of friends, and you can have friends for the rest of your life doing this sort of thing.
In closing, I know this is obviously not a professional setup, so you go back to the reality of your normal day life. What do you do for a living back home?
I have a painting company back in Melbourne. I employ about half a dozen people. I actually do a little bit of work for Wheels here and there. His business is around the corner from mine. I'm just a tradie with his own company, painting houses and factories and pubs and all that sort of thing. So I've been doing that for a very long time. So yeah, it's good.
So there's a reality series that we watch in South Africa called The Block. So that makes that immediately. It's an Australian production, by the way. So the block, I don't know if you've heard of it.
I tell you what, the block is the worst thing ever for tradesmen. Every person in the world think they can do everything in the world. They complain, they pick on everything, and they don't know what they're talking about. We get that at nearly every job, don't we, Wills? The block's horrible. It is a bad thing for people to watch because they think they know everything. And the quicker they turn that off and they don't make them anymore, the better our lives will be.
Well, I'm going to make you feel better and say that I have no idea, and I will not pretend that I have an idea of doing anything that you do, and I will always phone the experts. So for me, I'm not in that boat. Greg, thanks, man. It was great catching up with you. Thank you for the chat, and thank you for being part of this tournament and bringing the Australian flavour to this World Tournament or international tournament. And may you have a blessed week further and enjoy the hospitality of the South African people wherever you go. And this result aside, may the rest of the week go according to the wishes of the Australian team.
Oh, look, thanks for having us. It's been absolutely magnificent, except for the problems with everyone's stomachs. It's been magnificent. It's been a great time. Everyone's been lovely. They've been great. The way everything's organised. Our bus driver started off a bit shaky, but he ended up being one of us. So that's fantastic. He's on board. And everyone, Roger, for what he's doing. To the guys here at the cricket club, they've done a power of work. They can't help you enough. And if anyone ever gets the chance to come on a tour here or do something, you've got to put your hand up and try and come here and have a go at it. It's beautiful.
Great, kind words. Thank you very much. And just in closing, if you use the stomach excuse, remember that's what the All Blacks did in 1995.
What a great excuse it was too. By the way, my friend over here, Wheels, I don't think anybody knows, like he's probably been commentating before I go. We had 10 fit players about 3 days ago, and Wheels was extremely ill. He put the yellows on to come and have a bowl and a bat with us. He scored 5 and I barbecued him. I run him out, which was here nor there. That's okay. And then he got a wicket. But when he come off finished bowling, he was that sick. He vomited near us, and then he had to lie down, and he had the trots. It was coming out one end and the other end, but he stuck at it, and that's what it's all about. And he was crook. And to Wheels, well done, mate. It was a great effort what you did. Thank you.
Yeah, great closing words. The fighting spirit of sports people around the globe. That's how you get up when things don't go according to plan. Yeah, insightful. Thank you so much, and nice meeting you as well.
Thank you.
Back to the game. 77 for 7. We've got the trip 7s on the board. If you're superstitious, or maybe you just like the number 777. Unfortunately, the last 7 is not the one Australia wanted. 16th over. Vinod Motwani bowling for USA. They're going to coast home and clean up this afternoon, and after that disappointing result against Wales, they've put things in place for a big game against Australia. Always a big game against Australia. That's a big shot. There's a good one, but it has gone through the fielder's hands. For one moment I thought that he had positioned himself perfectly, but it escaped the clutches and goes for 4. Craig Gingham sharing his thoughts. Lovely to have him in commentary as well, and hope that you enjoyed that as well. And just the raw emotion of life, and as a youngster growing up, the idols and the Wasim Akrams of the world. It just shows that it doesn't matter what country you stay in, the greatness will always be. It doesn't matter where they are. Wasim Akram and Waka Yunus. I remember those two bowling in tandem. Craig Willis and Paul Bennett having some fun together. Bennett on 24. They'll convert this into a 3. Willis on to 14, and they'll think 4, and they'll run 4. Here we go. They've just run 4. 4 overs still remaining in this contest. 85 for 7, 83 required of the final 4 overs. 85 for 7. So the 83, that's not going to happen. It's just about the time in the middle, using the opportunity. And maybe Paul Bennett will be saying, okay, I need 18 to get to a little milestone. Scoring a half century for your country, taking 5 wickets remains special. So Paul Bennett probably will be forgiven to say, I'm gonna put a bit of the individual in this format and in this equation. But for now, Craig Willis is on strike. Outside half of the bat, runs down to third for a single. Syed Chanala was on his second over. Lovely, just full extension of the arms. Will he beat the field? No, well cut off by the sweeper on the boundary. Can't prevent the 2. Bennett onto 34. Slow, excellently bowled by Syed Chanalawaz. Now for Bennett to get to that half century, he'll probably need to up the tempo slightly. Time is running out, 3.5 overs to go. Might not be thinking about the 50, but he's done a good job for his team. Knocks this onto the onside for another single. So for all these teams, if you are watching our broadcast, a rest day has been worked into the schedule tomorrow. And then we change formats. We go to 45 overs per side. And cricket right across the province, or specifically in the Cape area. Also Franschhoek, Drakensberg, famous Drakensberg fields. Lovely scenery, and the weather is kind to us as well. Last week was extremely tough conditions, so this tournament scheduled or fell correctly. Last week would have been slightly different and more difficult for the players. I think those working in the back room would have been a lot more busy, but thankfully it's cricket weather. Very pleasant late afternoon in the mother city. 17 gone, 92 for 7. Well, Willis has 15. It's come in quick time as well, of 17 deliveries. Bennett has 35, and he'll be on strike. Welcome drink being offered to the 2 Australians out in the middle. Maybe just an opportunity to revisit what happened earlier today. The first of our 2 T20 matches on this field involved Wales and Zimbabwe. And Wales making it 2 out of 2, winning by 15 runs. Zimbabwe falling short again by a narrow margin. They lost to Australia yesterday by 2 wickets. Today, 15 runs. So close. But for Australia, not the day they were looking for. Last opportunity to watch Himanshu Patadia bowled 3 overs on the trot, picked up 1 for 16, opened the bowling from our end, from our commentary position. That's the end that he's going to bowl from now as well. Left arm spinner. It's full and worked with the wrists towards third, where there's a long chase around, but can't prevent 2. That's 37 to Bennett. still on course for his individual milestone. Australia 6 short of 100. Meets this on the full, straight to the field. Now there's a massive mix-up in the middle. Won't cost him. That would have been a disastrous end for Paul Bennett, who's done such a good job. He's been out there for 39 deliveries. Would have been a saddest of ways to go out, run out. So still there, 95 for 7. That's dished up outside off stump. It's on the half volley, but again, USA have been on point with their field placings. Bennett runs hard for his partner. And Willis on to 17. Halfway through the 18th over. Uses his feet once again. They do talk to you, but surely won't come back. Nice to see the Welsh team. They played their match, went to have a shower. They're back here supporting. Great to see them in attendance. That's the camaraderie that we spoke about earlier. It's playing your match, coming back and making new friends and sitting around a table and having a chat. Competitive on the field and the camaraderie of what sport is off the field. Dressed very smartly in the golf shirts. Saw him coming, almost outfoxed him, that Pataria, but Paul Bennett extended his arms and made sure that he made contact, otherwise that would have been trouble. Partnership has been 38, worth talking about. Just a little waltz down the track. Smacks it, gives it a good old smack and gets 2. So Bennett ticks over to 40, and that leaves the final 2 overs of our match 100 up for the Aussie vets. Pataria's spell comes to an end, very economical, 6 to the over, also picked up a wicket. Finishes with an over that cost 8. Probably be some stiff bodies tomorrow. 2 days back to back, big T20 internationals. Giving everything for your country. I'm sure that those who work on the massage tables will be called up on frequently. Or maybe the teams will escape and go and sit in a nice relaxing environment in a swimming pool. Have a couple of drinks, get-togethers, see some of the famous landmarks in the Cape. That's a full toss out to long on, and then the misfield will bring about 2. And USA will be happy. They've really done exceptionally well today. They've been good in the batting department, good in the bowling department. The fielding has been on point here and there, a lapse in concentration, but that's what it is. 55 plus, it will happen. But they've just been full value, wide called by umpire Pillay. Also worth mentioning our officials, Jeff Charlesworth and Alvin Pillay, standing in back-to-back matches as well. So a big thank you to them, our scorers, our production staff, everyone that's contributed to putting this tournament together. Edge off the bat, but it's flying away towards the boundary and will beat the fielder. 4 runs to Craig Willis. He's on to 24. He's looked very handy since he's come to the crease. Apologies to Stuart Crisp's family and to him as well. So Stuart Crisp is actually batting. So we apologise. We have a technical issue. So to Stuart's family back home and friends, we do apologise. Let's give Stuart all the credit. So he's on 24. Paul is on 40. Again, it's full. He's just missed his length here, Syed Chanalawaz. couple of friendly deliveries, full tosses. That's the extension of the arms once again, and he has long levers and well complemented. Paul Bennett has run extremely hard. He's been out there for a long time, 41 deliveries that he's faced, and still running just as hard for his partner. He's going to have to do something if he wants that 50. 8 balls remaining in the contest. That's swung around the corner and will go towards the boundary as well. Nice productive little passage for Australia. 4 more to Willis. He's on to 30. Oh, crisp rather. Still habit. Looking at the screen, not at the player. Shanana was slightly expensive here. Missed his mark, missed his length, and bounced upon by the 2 batting for Australia. Just has a bit of a scan behind him. What's happening with the field set? 113 for 7. Another full one. Well, Shananawaz has been very kind in this over. And they'll turn this into another 2. Excellent running. Crispin Bennett, a partnership over 50. Credit to them. Despite batting in a losing cause, they've shown great character. Kept in the fight. True sports spirit. 115 for 7 brings us to the conclusion of our day, the last over, and all eyes on Paul Bennett. Does he go for it? At the moment, both hands on knees, and that says that he's pretty drained, and you can understand why. I don't think Paul Bennett will be mindful of his own individual milestone. I'm sure that everyone in attendance will want him to get there, but Bennett will just play the situation and say, I'm 40 not out at the moment. I want to finish strong. It's a good little exercise, puts me in good stead for the 45 over competitions that's coming. And time in the middle is most valuable. You can bat in the nets all you want, but time in the middle, that's invaluable. Raj Paradare is entrusted with the last over. He's picked up 2 for 8 of his 3 overs. This is where you also, as a player, you say, okay, I've worked hard, I'm not going to give my wicket away. Yes, we're going to lose the match, but I'm going to walk off with an asterisk. Or he can go, I need 10 for 50. That's another approach. Or just play the situation. Let's see what Paul Bennett does. First one is just short enough to turn onto the leg side. Can't beat the fielder though, so Paul Bennett will probably not get there. He's on 41. Oh, crisp is aerial and is gone. Smart catch on the boundary. It's been a nice and breezy innings. 32 of 25. Raj Paladare gets his 3rd, but a very good partnership between these two. 8th wicket gave us some late afternoon entertainment, and that means Craig Willis will now walk off the embankment. He is on his way to the pitch. Gave him credit for the 32, but that isn't his runs. But the real Craig Willis is indeed now walking out to bat. Crisp gets the applause from his teammates, and deservingly so. Great job out there, along with Bennett. Always tough when you walk out, you know, the game's done, but 4 deliveries, can't really achieve much. And for our viewers, there's fines, there's friendly fines afterwards, and I know that the one thing you don't want is a first ball duck or losing your wicket in the last over. Rather set yourself up for a good fine session than a negative one. So 4 balls, you had a hiding to nothing. Make sure you have a 100% strike rate, not out, walk off, shake hands. I think you A4 away. Raj Paradari will say, but I'm looking for wicket number 4. Full toss, great way to get off the mark. So again, just a reminder for our viewers, Stuart Crisp, especially to your family and Mr. Willis's family, it's swapped around, it's just a technical glitch, so we know Mr. Willis is out there. So Paul Bennett, let's see, give us the last 3 balls. Let's see if he gives us some entertainment. Thinks about advancing, then rocks back, cuts away, gets the single. He's on to 42. It's been a good innings by Paul Bennett, I must say. He came in under all sorts of pressure, survived it, continued to bat, continued to fight, and he deserves to walk off with a little asterisk next to his name. Slow, and fittingly gives the last ball to Paul Bennett. He's done for. You can just see Paul Bennett is he's pulling from his reserve battery. Gives it the old kitchen sink, comes towards us and finishes with a 6. Paul Bennett will be 48 not out. A little fist pump to Raj Paradari, who appreciates Paul Bennett's effort in a losing cause. And that is the final rights of our second and last T20 fixture this afternoon. I hope you enjoyed our coverage. It is a win for USA, and it's a big win for them. A confidence boost heading into the 45 over competition. Today, they were just better in all departments. Batted beautifully, 167, struck early in the power play, 4 wickets went down, and then restricted Australia to make sure that they claim an impressive victory this afternoon. Bennett stands firm with his unbeaten 48 of 44 deliveries. But the victory and the spoils will belong to the USA, and they win by 42 runs. On behalf of our production crew, our scorers, everyone that's part of this great tournament, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Tomorrow is an off day, a rest day. We'll see you back on Thursday when we go towards a longer format. It's 45 over cricket, all part and parcel of this great over 55 international cricket tournament, proudly brought to you by Cape Town.